others, and leading each individual to their goals in life. Homeownership is one of the main passionate assets I have and wake up to every single day for every client to accomplish. My success story is about my family. Each day that I wake up and go home to is my children and my husband and my life. We live a life by design, and we live a life of love. Our story is much more than a success story. I am Jackie Stevens with the Stevens Home Team.
Wow, wow, and wow. Every time I see that video, I kind of just like,
¿Quién es?
No, I want to like tear up, and everything that I said in that video is just boom, 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 and boom. It just hits every part of my chapter in life. So, Edgar, I'm actually really excited to be here. I'll be honest with you, because I feel that, let's agree, this has been a super challenging year. And there's been a lot of different routes, paths, things that came in, good and bad, in our lives and in our business and so forth. So, I mean, with the challenging year that we had, 2023, what can you take with it going into 2024?
Wow, challenges. Yeah. It's fun, weird, crazy roller coasters, what people call it, and that's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
And I think, and not only for us in general. I'm just talking. I mean, just everybody. People in everybody that they with their own things that they do, whether it was life, work. Obviously we always talk about our industry and with what we had to go through, and it's just so much different things. I know we always talk about the unknowns, the stuff that we never really keep into consideration, and we were hit with a lot of unknown this year. And I
feel like we were tried in so many ways. Many ways. And not only me, I know many of you guys were tried in some type of way. Mm-hmm. Okay. For me, it was health, then business, then all kinds of things that were going along with our careers, our real estate careers, right? The industry, let's talk about the real estate industry, the real estate market, as far as that. So if you are a real estate agent, a lender, so forth, I mean, this is going to coincide with you too. But if you're a business owner, a small business owner, these are great steps and great tools that I'm going to utilize in this podcast today, and Edgar, and so that we have the insights on how 2024 should be a year of everything that happened in 2023 to excel and 10x. You agree?
100%. And that's the way it's got to be. It's always got to be that way. I think we learned a lot. I mean, we just had that amazing, I know we're talking more a little bit about it, the goal setting event that we had last month.
Yes.
Was really cool because, one, it was able to bring different realtors into the mix of the room. We brought in some really, really cool people to talk about it, and we discussed those challenges and more challenges and just different things. And again, you said it best. We were tried, people in general, and this was no different. And but again, I don't know how you felt at the end of the show, but for me, it was really a cool event because it just like got you pumped, ready to go. I think you starting to see some of those actions that took place here at the end of November, and then it'll go through the rest of December. I know December is fun with the Christmas lights and all that good stuff, reset, all that, good deals that goes on. But for me, it was really cool because it really inspired me to get ready for 2024. Yeah, that's the way we do it every year. But this one, like I said, it's kind of like car insurance.
It had more meaning.
Yeah, for sure. It was kind of like car insurance. You don't need it until you don't use it until you need it, right? And so that's kind of the way this was. We've never gone through what we did this year, but to be able to go through it, it was awesome. Sorry, I'm talking a lot, but it was.
Excuse me. I don't know where this slight cough came in, so just an FYI. But So meaning with the challenges that were given to us this year, and I'll just give examples, right? My challenge would be because of my health issues, right? I had some scary things that happened to me in the year. Not only that, in the real estate industry, right? Things were very slow. Things were slow in a lot of ways because interest rates for home buyers just got that much more expensive. You know, COVID was very easy, but then after COVID, went, actually, I'm not going to say COVID was easy, that era, because we were basically losing multiple in multiple offer situations
Yeah.
at times, and it was a
Yeah.
headache. Like, although rates were low, we were still wanting to pull our hair out because we couldn't grab those homes for the buyers, right? And then after that, the rates went up. The feds kept hiking them and hiking them and hiking them and hiking them, where they were trying to control inflation. And that's another thing that we'll talk about is inflation, how it has had people struggle even to this day. Even as far as like groceries right now has been a big old
Yeah.
you go to the grocery store. Today I ordered Walmart. No, last night I ordered Walmart groceries and they came in. I spent $160 because we were out of milk and juice and creamer and you name it. And I got four little bags. Four little bags, right? And that's $150. So excuse me. So inflation has gone up. Along with inflation, it makes it harder for people to even just live a basic traditional life. So I mean, I know that 2023 has been a challenging year.
I think when you say those factors that we've never really took into consideration, even as simple as how much the gas go up, milk, just everyday
Even
life.
butter.
But butter, yeah, you say it's nice as butter. What is it?
Butter.
Yeah, butter, and that which we have no control over, but you have to be able to, overcome it, take the punches the best way, and find the next process on finding that next solution. So yeah.
Yeah. So basically, with all that set in mind, it's been a challenging year for many.
Hello.
Are we here? I don't know what happened. So, anyways, okay, cool. So we're on per Michelle. So again, when we talked a little bit about the challenges that were in 2023, that's going to get us into 2024. So that's the purpose for this podcast, guys, is no matter what you've been through, we've all been in the mud this year, good or bad, no judgment. Things have been hard. Guess what? We're going to get back up and we're going to, and it doesn't have to just be in my industry. Can you hear me okay, Michelle? Yep. Okay. So again, how important is goal setting for you? Goal setting, it's been around for many, many years, goal setting. And goal setting is just basically you reset and restarting. Okay. If anybody's watching this, please let me know in the comments if I am breaking up, because it is important to know that. Let's see. I'm not going to be speaking and then or we're talking and nobody can hear us.
Yeah, I think right now we're good.
Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. And in actuality, goal setting is just basically for you to reset, restart, refresh for the new year. And I know it sounds, how can I tell you, like, oh, positivity. Yes, it is about things on paper, things that you are going to see in everyday life that's going to get you going, right? So again, I want to talk a little bit about balance because I feel that balance has helped me succeed on where I am today. Okay. I was dragged through the mud, but what I will tell you the difference else that feels stuck is be consistent and persistent and instill the good habits, right? To be able to show up for myself and show up for others. Do you agree on that?
100%.
Great.
100%. And I think you nail it right where you say what you're going to write down, what you're going to put down to make those your goals. They have to be your goals. They can't be anybody else's goals. And more importantly, you have to account for everything that's going to be involved around those goals. I think we touched on being able to really condense your goal mindset to having it in terms of a quarter now pace instead of a year and stuff of that
Instead of a
nature.
year, I kind of feel like every 3 months is more, how can you say, accomplishable before putting 6 years or a year.
Yeah, it's more impactful in my respective opinion, for the reason being that, again, and if you were at the Ghost event, I don't want to sound like a repeating person here, but the biggest thing for me was, for example, when we did last year's goals, we had a huge number, a huge goal, right? And I said, let's take it on, let's strap on, let's go fight the fight. But the reality was, in that particular goal, there was never any little gray area that says, hey, what happens if something happens to Jackie or myself, right? There was never any of that. For my only goal purpose was, we're going to be running from beginning to start. Instead, we made that small adjustment and we say, hey, you know what? We took a beating, Q1 for other reasons. And then Q2, we really hit it because that's when things happen, right? Life happens. And again, when I'm talking about this, think about it for you, think about it in your situation, because life hits everybody at different times. So when you do it every 3 months, it's really good because you get to say, hey, let's break down these numbers. And I think that's what's really helped you and I and our team, and the way we bring it out to the others is, we say, hey, don't think about it like if we say, hey, it's 20 number. I'm just going to give you an example. 20 is the number, right? And you hear 20, you're like, man, okay, that's pretty tough. How do I get there in a matter of a month? But if you break down all your activity and you really break it down small versus thinking of just the 20, because if you think about the 20, it's a little bit more challenging, right? So needless to say, do it on a every 3 month quarter base, see where you're at. And then you're going to know, okay, my next quarter, do I have to hit it, double, put it, 10x it, however you want to put it, that's going to get you going because you fell short in that first one. And it's just, I think it's a great
okay, well, let's talk a little bit about that though. I mean, if we have 20 on the table, say for 20 units, right? If you are a real estate agent or if you're in a business that has to sell, by volume or whatever it is, the 20 is, you do have to basically divide and do a little bit of simple math so we know how many appointments, how many calls. So there is basically tasks that you have to do to gain that 20. So do you want to talk a little bit about what are some things that you do as far as in the office or agents to excel in that for the next year?
Very good. And I mean, so it's getting very intentional, right? It's finding the things that are going to, what we call in our book of business is the money generating activity, right? There's one thing to say, I'm the first one in the office, last one in, but there's no purpose. There's nothing written. There's no goals behind it or anything like that. What did you accomplish today, right? Even as far as some of the changes that you need to make, and this is going to be on your personal side of things, right? Do I need to wake up earlier? Do I need to go to the gym earlier? Do I need to go and do different things? When I come to the office, it was really cool because one of our newest team members on the team came on and says, hey, you know what? If we're going to be making calls and stuff of that nature, our phone, I mean, we're not walking in at 9 o'clock. We're not getting our coffee at 9:02. We're not getting any of this, right? And I say, you got it. He goes, for me, it's a matter of we get here when we need to. Prior to that, for us, our schedule, for those that want to know, is between 9 and 11:30. If our boiler room is popping, we're making calls every morning, right? Now we make calls not just to make calls, right? We make calls with purpose. Like, who are we contacting? Why are we contacting them? Sometimes it's a simple, I'm calling somebody that I know because they mean something to me and my business, and I want them to know. That's important, right? And everybody thinks you're just calling to bother us. No, I'm calling you to say hi. How are you doing?
If you all know Edgar, he likes to talk on the phone, and he likes to talk, a lot nicely, though. Nicely.
Yeah, for sure. But not only that, like, I'll give you, and sometimes, it happens, like, I do make some phone calls, and sometimes it's just I don't want to say a random name that I pick, but somebody that just hits my morning, and I say, hey, I'm going to just call and be like, hey, how are you doing, today, bud?
Yeah.
Regardless, because you don't know what they're going through. I can tell you, when we were going through your health situation, some of the best calls that I fielded were from agents that I really did not talk to on a regular basis. And it was one thing for them to ask me how Jackie was doing, but even to be like, hey, dude, I just want to know, how are you doing, bro? What do you need from me? How can I help you? And that was huge. That was very important. But anyway, I know I got off on the calls, but what I'm saying, those all matter, right? However you want to design it.
What you're stating is to be relational, not transactional.
Exactly.
So, I mean, there's a huge difference between relational and
relational,
transactional.
and then you got to be consistent. You can't just come here and say, I'm going to do it once, because the next time you call this guy, like 2 or 3 years later, and you have that same conversation, and be like, dude, that was weird. You're just calling me. I never talked to you before, right? So consistency is going to be, I touch base with certain people, and I say, hey, how are you doing? How can I help you? And those are the things that you want to get going. But like my buddy Juan Martinez, what's up, buddy? He says, I love when we come in here because we're talking about what we're going to do today to get us better, and we'll make those calls. We'll role play. We'll do some strategic script calls on our own beforehand and say, hey, today we're going to take on this type of buyer. Let's see how cold as can be. Okay, cool. And then you develop that, and it's practice. Some of the recordings that we were doing, just the other day, and this is already doing it, going about 5 or 6 months. We're talking nonsense. Sometimes I don't bring my A game, right? But it's cool to, again, we talked about this also, is being intentional, being consistent, and then the best one that I always love is have somebody to hold you accountable. You have somebody there that can hold you accountable is huge, because if I came here by myself, which I did for a very long time, especially when Jackie was out, I'd come in, I'm pumping myself up. People around the building were wondering, man, what's going on with Edgar? He's going really, really crazy. He's dancing, he's doing this all by himself. But anyway, I had to pump myself up, right? But when you have somebody there that can hold you accountable, tell you, hey, I didn't really give you some feedback, I wouldn't approach it this way, I would have approached it that way, it matters. And those are key things. So continue to work on those, develop those, guys. I'll even say it here again, is if you ever need somebody just to have a fake phone call with to practice, call me. And
you know what? That's really nice that you say that, because let me tell you, the other day I did read an article that 80%, and I want you to check out this. I'm always about statistics and data, but 80% of active real estate agents, not even active anymore, agents threw in the towel.
Oh, shaggies. Mm-hmm.
It's not 20%. It's not 30. It's not 50. Actually 80%, or is it 80,000? I better get that shit right. 80, I think it's 80,000.
Yeah, 80,000.
It may be 80,000. That sounds a little bit more right. Then we only have 20%, and then whoa, that'd be wonderful for the 20% remaining, right? But let's go back to this. 80,000 agents have fallen off the wagon. But why? That's my question that I asked Edgar. Why? And I'm going to tell you the straight out reason is because agents are maybe too egotistical. They're too proud. They're too, I got it, but you should be able to surround yourself with a table that's going to push you. Surround yourself with a team that is going to push you. I would never encourage as much as I would encourage now that if you are sailing on a boat by yourself, you better jump on a cruiser, or what do you call those huge boats
Ships, yeah.
with people, with ships. Get on that boat with people. Don't try to do it by yourself, because guess what? You're going to sink. And if you are sinking now, 2024, you're done. And that's just my personal opinion. You have to be surrounded by sharks. You have to be surrounded by people who want it as much as you do. You are surrounded by people by guess what? This is the only income we have. So me and Edgar get up every day. We look at each other. Well, we don't really look at each other because he wakes up at 4 and I wake up at and whatever. I look at him when I get to the office, and this is all we have. This is all we know. So you want to get yourself with people that have that vision that's way up there, right? Again, 2024, if you are in a position right now that's lonely, doesn't know what the hell to do, don't know where to go, don't know how to make calls, don't know what script playing is, don't know how to door knock, don't know how to talk to people, don't know how to network, don't know. I mean, it's going to get very lonely for you. So I would encourage you, because I'm that type of person to just say things, is get the ego off of, get your ego off of you. And you maybe stop, maybe thinking about commissions right now, and join someone who's going to teach you the ropes before you get 100% wherever you want to go in a brokerage. But I will tell you this, if you are sitting on that ship, you are going to be sinking with $0. Then versus you trying to find a brokerage who's going to pay you more. I think that's the biggest thing that I just don't like right now, is this is not a time to be chasing a commission. This is the time to buckle down and become the best with the best and it could be any top real estate agent in El Paso, or top team, top brokerage, and get yourself in there. That's all I got to say, because that's a lot of agents that have fallen off the wagon.
And not only so much, I mean, I'm going to highlight all those points. That's a great insight from like a realtor, and how you should go about partnering up, and again, going back to the accountability piece. But my bigger thing that I want to say is, guys, get connected with your number one people that we should be connected with when it comes to all real estate. And that is our biggest, most important person in any transaction. Those are our clients. Fall in love with them, understand what they're trying to do, understand what they've been through. Okay, it's one thing for us to say, like, man, we had to put up with this and multiple offers and blah blah blah, all that. Yeah, I mean, that's part of the gig, right? That's part of the thing that feels great at the end of the day when you close out that deal. But more importantly, get really inside that particular situation with that buyer. Understand that a lot of buyers went through divorces this year. A lot of buyers went through unfortunate deaths. They grew their families, and they needed to get their families into these homes faster than ever before. How were they going to do that? They were told they needed to sell a home, and then things would fall through, whatever the case might have been. Let's learn to put yourself in those shoes instead of chasing the high dollars and the commissions and a bonus here and a bonus, all that. Throw that away. Go back to the basics of stuff, and that's just interaction with beautiful human beings that are trying to accomplish the one beautiful thing that makes us either succeed or fall out in this industry. And that's, I think, the difference of why we continue to do many great things here and within our group, is that's the person that we have in our mind. Is always.
I really love that. I really love that you touched on that a lot, because there has been a part of actually the homes that we put wonderful families in, or had to sell for, or sold for, were divorces. They were divorces, and I feel that we have built that trustworthy relationship where we can be there and get them through A to Z with heart and compassion. And it doesn't have to just be a divorce. It could be many things. So basically, what Edgar was saying, and what I would like to back up on, is the relational part of this business is, again, like you had mentioned, if you are just being transactional, then this probably isn't the industry for you.
Exactly.
Because this is the largest investment that any human being is either going to purchase or they're going to liquidate. So to me, behind a great agent is a knowledgeable agent, an expert agent, an educational agent that studies every single day this job and knows where it's being headed, so that we can take care of our clients and know what direction to lead them to. So I mean, that was a very good point that we had there. Turmoil in 2023, but we were able to get both parties into respectable,
better situations,
journeys,
right?
better
Different
situations.
journeys, different, just a new beginning, right? And that's kind of the theme that's been going. So,
And then I want to add on something with that, Edgar, is that,
I like how you changed my name to Edgar.
Eggert.
But anyway, go ahead.
You know, my grandma used to call you Eggert.
She did?
It wasn't Edgar. It was like Edgert. Edgar.
Yeah. And
Now I'm saying Edgar. That's kind of weird, huh?
Edgar Stevens.
It's the only thing that I wish that I could have done more is, and which I'm going to do because I've been seeing it increase a little bit more, is people that are a little shy, they're a little embarrassed, to private message me and just tell me, or pick up the phone and call me and say, listen, I am not able to pay my mortgage. It's been 3 months and I haven't paid. And now I have a foreclosure date, or my house is being auctioned on this day. And I did not have enough time, 2 days later to sell wasn't enough time to save the home. Or if we're closed and then they tell me after the fact and they've lost 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, $100,000 of equity they could have had on their home. So I do want to do a better job on telling you right now that never be fearful, never be embarrassed, or whatever you may feel. Do not let those emotions get in the way of what's sitting in your home, right?
Yeah, I think that's such a valid, strong point.
Because there's so many options.
And and a lot of it came because of things that needed to be done at the time. And again, it goes back to, we get put in different situations, life hits, and people handle things a little different.
I'll tell you a story. Edgar can tell you the story on how he was embarrassed even to tell me years ago. I think we were like, what, 20, this was 2000, de Ancino still.
Oh yeah, 2010. 2012. No, it was 2010.
It was 2010 when he didn't want to tell me he was behind in payments. And, here comes an inspector trying to inspect my house. I didn't know what was going on, but he was very fearful. He was scared, And yes, you're scared. You're like, what the fudge? What am I going to do? Where am I going to go? So I can probably understand all the thoughts were going through his head. I had just had Joshua. I had all my kids, but
about to have Joshua.
Oh, okay. So I was about to have Joshua, and he was very fearful to tell me. But you know what? I'm glad he told me. Or maybe did you tell me, or did I find the letter? I don't know. Let me tell you what I did though. I acted fast, and I got a renter, like stat. He was able to give me a deposit and able to get me first month's rent. And with that, I was able to, save the home. So please know that going into 2024, or even now, if you feel like you're one of those, one of our friends, one of our family, or of somebody, Edgar told you, right? No, he didn't, right? He didn't tell me. And so, long story short, you need to get involved with us, okay? And I promise you this: we're either gonna find a way, we're gonna find a solution, we're gonna hold on to that house, we're gonna get it rented, we're gonna sell it so that we can get you the money that you have gained in that property. So when COVID hit, what happened is what we had the hugest jump in price increases in home value. Okay. So anybody who has even bought before 2020 or 2021, you are sitting on, I always tell Edgar, a golden nugget. Do not give that to the bank. Okay. We will find a way. We will find a solution.
And again, just to touch on that, I think we've had multiple situations. Again, doing the right thing. Do we want to help? Thank you, Ryan. I know you got me. Time and time again, I know some realtors, we have the bad mark or whatever, that, well, they're just trying to sell whatever they can because it's so hard out there. Yes, it is very hard. Yes, it is challenging. Yes, and all that. But there's many more cases where we got to sit back and look at, there's bigger situations than just getting a commission or whatever the case may be. Again, understand your clients, find out about them, and I hate calling them clients because we build such a great bond with our people
I say
that
friends and family.
and we become friends and family. Those that have purchased or sold their home with us. It's just about hey, pick up a phone. Can you give me this information? Do you know what the status on this is, or what are we looking at, or what's a good chance that we can do this? Is it just about information for you to have? Because like Jackie said, there are tons and tons of options. I know we helped out a very close friend who found herself again embarrassed. Didn't know exactly
I
what
actually
to
helped
do.
some of my friends.
They didn't know exactly what to do, and you know what? They picked up the phone and finally said, "Hey, Jackie, what do I do in this situation? We want to, potentially sell this. Can we get into that? How fast can I get a rental?" And all of a sudden, Jackie's like, "No, what you're going to do is you're going to call the bank. You're going to tell them this. You're going to tell them that." And before you know it, they paid whatever they needed to back end. But
Yes.
they thought they were going to lose their home and equity and everything. And I guarantee you this, we gain that not even a transaction in the future. That's here nor there. It's more importantly, we continue a great relationship with that person because we're not there to steer you in the wrong direction.
Exactly.
And so that's the beauty of it. And I'm glad you mentioned that because yes, do not, from experience, trust me, it's pride, it's embarrassment, it's sadness, it's whatever you want to call it, and it's not a pretty feeling or a great feeling at all to have to tell your wife who's about to have a baby, we're gonna have to find another place to live because I couldn't pay it. Yes, I went unemployed. That's it. It's just a fact.
As I'm telling you, life happens. So
And
so, it is what it is. But guess what? We got to get back up and we got to keep fighting. We got to keep fighting. Let's get into some
fun stuff. All right. No, so like I think you told me, hey Edgar, how can we talk about the challenges? I think we've talked enough about the challenges that we did incur here in 2023. Didn't get too personal because that's not what this one was for. But it's just so that you do acknowledge and you understand it.
I do want to say something really quick, though. I know you said that just because I don't want to jump off to another subject without adding to that. Okay. On the balancing of 2024, I would encourage you, and I know it sounds pretty selfish, but it isn't selfish, is, you start putting yourself first. You got to start learning, or I hate to say you got to start learning, like you got to. I would recommend that you can, you're so valuable and you mean so much to people that we sometimes forget who we are, right? And what we're trying to accomplish because, I'm usually the person that's on 1,000 miles per hour because I want to provide good for my kids. I want to probably the best wife, and best friend and best everything.
Right.
But, I can't do all of that if I am not taking care of myself. And, you have to focus on trying to work on the best version of yourself before even any goal is even set on stone or paper. And I really truly mean that because we're so used to just writing, oh yeah, I'm going to do this. You see my vision board over here. I'm like, well, I want to go here. I want to go there. I want to do this. And this is my family. But we tend to forget that there's a lot required to instill in ourselves as far as health, exercise, commitment, time for each of the people in our world, God, our kids, our husband, whatever it is. So please keep that in mind, is that 2024, it's time to start showing up for yourself.
Boom and boom.
Mm-hmm. I have my little notes on here. So again, December is a time to think about things. Think about things.
Yeah.
Where am I? Where am I heading? Am I happy where I'm at? Can I do more? Can I get an accountability partner? Can I what?
Can I get a witness?
Can I you know,
or the ugly word, right? Am I content? Did I really just maximize everything throughout the last 11 months? That who cares what next month brings, right? We've been there. I mean, I can sit here and tell you. I mean, I've been involved in sales for, man, I guess 20 years now. Yeah, a little over 20 years. I don't know why. And when they asked me when I was young, what do you want to be? I think I wanted to be a coach. I didn't want to be no salesperson. But anyway.
Do you want to be a coach, so?
You know what, Jay? I think I do really well. I think I would help out the Marlin Bulldogs this week. They actually play tomorrow. Good luck, Big Rube. But, you know, I think I'd be a great coach. But what I was saying is this, right? When you take on a goal and a number that you want to hit and all of that other stuff, sometimes you have this remarkable year that, you know what? Am I really good? So complacency, sometimes that's cool, or people get content. I'm not saying that's me, but I'm just saying some people do capture that as well. I know that you were talking about, like, what is it that you want to ask yourself,
or just know your why.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, my why is, I always used to say, like, my why is my family, which it is, but my why now is like me. So I mean, I'm like, my why is me. Why wouldn't I account myself for that shit? You know, I'm like, I'm too busy taking care of 1,000 people. I need to start taking care of myself. Yep. So my why is to travel the world, to go see different places, to be dedicated to taking care of my body, to be eating right, to be the best mentor, to grow as many agents as I can to hit 6 digits, not double digit, 6 digits, because it's possible. And all it requires is a Monday through Friday or a Monday through Sunday. And it requires somebody to push you. So, I mean, that's what I'm going to end up with this podcast. I don't know if I have to add anything. Would you like to add anything? I do want to say this too. I made this pamphlet, and it's from, it was from a couple of years, 18 years that I've been in the real estate industry, that I got from multiple brokerages that I have been part of. And, you know, I took pieces with me that I know helped develop me to be where I am at today, as far as, you know, accomplishment. I feel accomplished, right? There's so much more for me to grow, though, because my vision's a little bit like up there now, right? You always got to keep growing. You can't stay stagnant here. So this I did give to everyone that went to the 2024 goal setting workshop. I do have extra copies, so if you are interested in this, I would love to just give you the link. I'm an agent that shares because I want everybody to win. Remember, there is 50,000 people here in El Paso, Texas, as far as that owns a home. We are up there, so there's enough for everybody, right? Excuse me. So I do have a 1-page real estate agent business plan. This is where you're going to say, maybe Edgar put here that he wants to make $500,000 this year. So, I mean, can we do it? Yeah, we can. But it's going to require basically, you know, how many buyers and sellers I need to work with, how many we need to meet with, contact with, and then he writes down where he's going to basically 10x where he's going to get those people, right? So I think 2024 is going to be an amazing year next year. That's my mindset, because we already went through the raw shit of this year. It's time to buckle up, buttercup. Oh, okay. So this is the lead tracking sheet that I do include in the work tracking sheet, goal sheet. And it's week 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you're serious about showing up Monday through Friday, open houses on the weekend, my team does things a little bit differently, but this is what we do. I also shared the calendar of what we do on a daily basis, starting as far as 5 a.m. all the way to 6 p.m. Okay. And then on the next sheet, of course, is I utilize this so much. It's a call log basically where you are going to hold yourself accountable for 20 calls a day or 20 contacts a day and so forth. It's a tracker. If you do one every day, you should have 100 people that you contacted that week. So this does hold you accountable. So there's some little notes on here. So I do have these available. So if you do need one, I'll be more than happy to.
Yeah. And I'll even take it a step further. So we were just generating some numbers, and I wanted to show you. I knew we were going to show it a little bit here on the podcast, but we'll be going through that for our team respectively as we talk about it together. We're going to have our individual goal, and then we're going to have our team goal. And we're actually just finalizing it so that we all have that in right place. Our vision boards, all that will take order, and that's being done tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, Friday.
No, Friday.
Friday. My days are all messed up. But,
everybody's more welcome to come.
But Friday, and yeah, if you guys want to know what that looks like, if you guys attended the goal setting event but didn't quite get the grasp, because I know there's a lot of powerful stuff put into one day. Feel free, guys. Feel free to reach out to me. You're more than welcome to stop by. We don't bite. We're not gonna, take out certain things that this is your opportunity, and it's not to put anybody better or higher or anything like that. It's just simply just to come together and work on a quick project, collaborate,
and collaborate.
And so we'll be doing that. So like I said, that's just my invitation to those. If you guys are interested, if you just started, don't have somebody that you're following, don't have this already set up. Some of you guys already might have done it. Okay, I know. We had our goal setting event in November because December, I mean, hey,
it's nothing really. Last quarter, usually with the teams that I had joined years ago, we would do our goal setting like the beginning of last quarter. So because again, if you're in sales like us and you're based out well, we basically got to start working now to be paid in January, February. So I mean, you got to ask yourself this: what work have I done? What seeds have I planted? What seeds have I nurtured and watered to grow so that they can sprout and bloom in 2024? And if it's zero, you got to do something.
Yeah, do it now. And I think what Jackie's saying there, it's tamales, gorditas, Christmas parties, sweaters, all that. Yeah, and as I was stating, guys, it's in perfect words is all the other activity. There's a lot of activity that goes on. I call them distractions. So you can get easily distracted. Gifts, all that other stuff. Really take what this season is for. I know we just finished Thanksgiving. That's to be grateful and thankful. Christmas is kind of the same thing, right? Is counting your blessings. Being able to spend some time.
I think if you just count your blessings, it's worth more than gifts. So I hope there's not people.
And please know that I'm not saying don't enjoy your family. You need to enjoy your family, and at the same time, we didn't talk on this, so I am going to share it. You also got to celebrate your success and your wins, whether they were big, huge, small, whatever. You got to celebrate those always. I always tell this to Jackie. I say, you know what? Yeah, we didn't hit 200 sales that we wanted to, or whatever. But what did we really gather this year? I tell you what, I got the biggest win, and no 200 homes, no 300 homes, no 380. And my team did this. My team, I really don't care about that. I got my wife and her life here. That's my biggest win.
Thank you.
Okay, that's my biggest win. So I will celebrate that shit all day long. But that being said, here comes 2023. Jackie don't want to hear that shit. She's like, hey, what are we doing? 2024, what are we doing? What are we getting excited for? What's on the agenda? What's our plan? What's our goal? And this is what this whole call was about. What are you going to do it sounded like Hulk Hogan. What are you going to do when the Hulkster comes in? But no, like really is what are you going to do to make that difference, that change, and to help you take you to that next level? Are you going to just fall out? Or worry about everything that happened in 2023. No, navigate that sucker. That's done. Write your final chapter here in the next 20 25 days, whatever it is, whatever your vacation days start. But be purposeful and don't take any of these days for granted. We've done that in the past, and trust me, January sucks. And because you're like, man, what did I do? You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything. And this
we just drink champurrado.
Exactly. This really started for us in October. October is when we started putting things in play. November, we kind of put that, 2x, this and that. Now we're trying to just really clean up everything so that system, that funnel, everything just kicks right through that door and takes us right into 2024 and just sets a tone for the rest of the year. So I think that's my take on this. I'm excited that you had that.
I want to wish you all well.
Yeah, I wish you guys the very best. I know Christmas is, still, we're talking about Christmas, we're still in November, but it's here. It's really here. And as always, guys, it's always a joy and pride, and we always talk about how we want to continue to do this, but some of those factors that we talk about, like what took place of this, there's other factors, other things that were a little bit more important than us getting on here. But Jackie always says, hey, get on the phone and record this. Let's talk about it, because why? This is stuff that people are going through. Okay, I know there's other couples that are doing real estate together, and they go through those headaches, and the guys stick together. They say, weather the storm. Okay, just weather this whole thing that happened here this year. You guys are still alive. Be grateful and thankful that we're still healthy. Just put a plan together. Jackie and I are always open to talk with you guys, go dialogue with you on that. And we like to learn too. So we learn a lot from you as well. I don't know where I went, Jack.
Okay, well, I don't want to take any more of your time. I'm just super happy to be here. And I will be more in the rhythm of getting our podcast started more regularly, because I think there's a lot to talk about when it comes to real estate, family, and so forth, keeping a balance on that. So thank you all for joining in. I want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. I think maybe we'll do another podcast before that, but get your mind right. Boom. And if we need to sit down, a phone call, a message away, you know where to find me. Okay?
Yeah, and just stay tuned. Talk about already looking into next year. I'm gonna say it's gonna be there. We're still finalizing. I'm working a huge event here for El Paso. Yeah, I am. I announced it here right now. Jackie don't even know about this, so it's pretty cool. Working on the back end is going to be a great realtor event. There'll be tons of vendors. It's going to be open to all realtors. It's going to be a big one here in El Paso. We just had some big hitters last month. Looking to collaborate some more with them and some new ones. And so stay tuned, because it's going to be a big one, and I'm excited about it.
Nice.
And we're back, but we're gone. No, we're just gonna say bye to you guys here one last time, and hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Like Jackie said, we're gonna be doing more. Stay tuned on that, and we'll talk to you guys on the next round.
All right. See you guys later. God bless you all.